All right, part one to child violation. We're gonna call it child violation. It started off with me when I was 7 years old. Um, my mother, she had a boyfriend, and her boyfriend was kind of friendly to everybody. Wanted to buy us all kind of stuff: candy, popsicles, suckers, lollipops, all this kind of candy and stuff. And I can remember her always calling me out because he wanted to see me in the room. So his name, not afraid to say his name was Mike. Mike always wanted to see me in the room. So she would always single me out, of my brothers and my sisters, and have me come in the room. And she would leave out the room. My mother, she would leave out the room. So I'm in there with this pedophile, not knowing what was going on, being I was the age of 7. So she leaves me in the room with him, and I had long thick ponytails. He used to like pull my ponytails and say how pretty I was, and rub my face and caress my arms, and you want this, and I saw you liked it this, and I saw you liked it that, and I was gonna buy it for you. Would that make you happy? I say yeah. Not knowing what he was really doing to me. He was violating me. He was rubbing on me. He was like rubbing on my chest. I had little bitty little titties, and he kept putting his hands in my panties. So he'll be like, okay, I get it for you. Go ahead, go and get up out of here. So I leave out the room. It was nothing. I thought, this man was my stepfather, like he was gonna tell. I didn't ever think that he was violating me. So I would leave out the room and go about my business. Next day or so, he'll come back with what he said he was gonna buy me. He'll buy it for me. And he'll be like, don't tell the rest of the kids, my brother and my sister, that I bought this, because they gonna want some stuff too. And daddy ain't got it. I only got it for you, because you a good girl. You a sweet little girl. That's what he was calling me. You a sweet little girl. So, I was taking the gifts because I'm not thinking this man is about to violate me, and already was violating me. And so, later when my mother worked at Department of Social Services, so when she go to work early in the morning, she'll be gone like 6, 7 in the morning. He'll come and wake me up out of my bed. This'll be like early in the morning, like summer vacation. You feel me? He'll come and get me out the bed and stuff, and tell me come downstairs with him. And I come downstairs with him. I don't know. He'd be like, shh, be quiet. I'm quiet going downstairs. And he'll tell me, pull down your panties, and I'll pull down my panties. And then he'll start playing in my tail. And then he'll be like, how did that feel? And he said, when I ask you this, you say this and you say that. So I was saying the words that he wanted me to say and stuff like that. He was like, I bought you what you wanted, right? And you still being sweet, right? You still being sweet, my sweet little girl, right? My sweet little girl. I'm agreeing, yeah, I'm being sweet. He steady violated me. So, that went on for like 2 months. He didn't never stick his penis in me at this time. He didn't stick his penis in me or nothing. He was just playing in my tail with his hand. He was just playing in my tail. And as the events go on, the days go on, he'll call me downstairs and he'll be like, I need you to do something for me. And I'll be like, what that daddy? We got to call him daddy. He wasn't my daddy. What that daddy? Titus, it was like some kind of rubbery sling thing. It was rubber. Tie this around my arm. Tie it. Tie it tight. Tie it tight. And we tie it tight. He'd be like, it ain't tight enough. Tie it tight. And he'd be like, hurry up. I'm already scared. I'm a little girl. I don't know what he's doing with this rope around his arm. It's a little springy thing, a little rubbery thing. And I'm tying it around his arm. And then he'll say, now run upstairs. Go upstairs. And even when I come back, I go upstairs. But then after 15, 20 minutes, I'll creep downstairs and I'll look, peek down the stairs and I'll look and I'll see he'll be laying, he'll be like this with the needle. Yeah, I'm in a wheelchair. Yeah, he'll be laying like this with the needle in his arm. So I'm peeking down the stairs and I see this. And I'm like 7 years old, And I see he got the needle stuck in his arm, and he's asleep, but he not gonna wake up until almost time when mama come home, So he didn't. He wouldn't wake up, but when he'll wake up, he'll come upstairs. You feel me? So that went on for a while, and age turned, birthdays came. I got bigger gifts, better gifts. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really go nowhere. It was always my grades was always bad in school. When I go to school, I'm bad now because I'm doing shit. I'm acting out. I really wanted to tell the teacher, but I can't really tell the teacher because she's so busy, and then she acting like she didn't have time, and I didn't feel no love with them teachers to really tell them that this man was touching me, because we had classes that they would bring in little baby dolls and say, is anybody touching you here? Is anybody touching you here? Or have you seen this, and what is this called? So when they come in our classroom and ask us, have anybody seen that stuff go on? I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't say nothing. So one day, the people came in the class, and it was like, if anybody know of somebody that is being touched or something like this. I think this particular day I was mad because I couldn't get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think my mama had made me a bologna sandwich that day. So I was real mad because even as a child, I didn't eat meat. I didn't like meat. I didn't like the taste of meat. So I wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day. And she'd be like, no, you ain't getting no peanut butter. You ain't getting that. You ain't getting that. You had one all week, So I was mad this day that I went to school because I didn't get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I was going to get her. I was going to tell on my dad. He wasn't my dad. I was going to tell on him, So when they came in with the dolls and stuff, then I had raised my hand and said, yeah, I know somebody. So after that, they'll take you out the room into another little room connected onto your room. They'll take you out to the room. They'll take you out the room with the rest of the kids. And they'll start asking you all these questions, a whole lot of questions, whole lot of questions. They'll start asking you a lot of questions. Who is in the household? Who you live with, how many brothers and sisters you got, all this stuff. I went through all of this stuff with the elementary school. Get to the bottom of it. I didn't tell that he did nothing to me. I just said, just stuff happens in the house. So CPS, they didn't come to our house. They called our house and they talked to my mother. My mama whooped my ass. She whooped my ass good. I really think that day she beat some of the skin off my butt, off my back, and I think I had a couple webs on my neck. She whooped my ass. Don't you go to school telling them our business, what go on in this house stays in this house. You don't go to school, tell them white folk nothing. Don't tell them nothing. So she beat the hell out of me that day. So the rest of the time when the people come, I would never say nothing. I would never tell nobody, And then when my aunties and them come over, I had aunties and uncles and stuff that came over a lot. My mama had a lot of brothers and sisters. I think it was 10, 11 of them or something like that. I don't know how many it was of them. But I had a lot of aunties and uncles that would come over, and they didn't never touch me or nothing like that. None of my aunties or uncles or nothing like that. So I felt a little more trusting in them because they never violated me in no way. And if they did, I would have been able to notice the violation because I was getting done in the house. So I would have knew that, So my aunties and uncles, they used to come in and out the house all the time, quite frequently, as when I was a young girl. And so I never even told my aunties, when we was real close. I never even discussed the situation with them. I never said nothing to my sister. I was always real close with my sister. And I never even said nothing with my brother. My brother, he was always mad. But I never even said nothing to my brother because I always felt like, my brother and my uncle Will, always said that he was going to beat him up. He was going to beat people up, that hurt me. So I never even told him because he didn't never violate me. So one day, it kept going on. The mishandling of a child, it kept going on and on and on. Days was passing and days was passing. So, we used to go to church all the time, Earleton in Detroit. We used to go to church all the time. So I learned how to pray. And then I started talking to God. I was like, God, help me. Stop him from touching me. I don't like him. And I was just saying stuff to God, and they had taught me how to pray, and then I just started praying all the time. So it seemed like the prayers, when I started praying, even worse stuff started happening. It didn't get to be a good thing when I started praying. It went bad because he wasn't just playing with me in my tail. He started bringing his friend. He started bringing his friend, and his name was Walter. So he was bringing Walter over all the time, and now I'm fighting him, and now I'm fighting Walter. So now I got these two men giving me money, keeping me quiet, buying me anything I want. Two men, both of them. Walter, he would only do it if my daddy told him to do it. Now, he wasn't my daddy, my stepdaddy. I'm going to say Mike. He would only do it if Mike told him to do it. If Mike told him he could stick his finger in my vagina, he would do it. And he would shoot off that quick. I know, the difference. And now, then, when I was a little girl, he'd shoot off real quick until it got to be, it was like my mom and them, they used to have Pokino games and parties and shit like that. and bowling. When they go bowling, they'd come over. They was playing baseball. You know, people would come over to the house after the game and drinking and smoking. Now, mind you, my mama, she smoked, but she didn't drink. She smoked cigarettes sometimes, but she didn't drink. She didn't drink no alcohol. She was a Pepsi flute. But she was stupid, dumb over this man. Because everything this man would tell her to do, she would do it for him. She was very stupid and ignorant for the man. I love my mama, but she was a dumb ass woman when it came to listening to a man. She listened and followed that nigga like that nigga was the end of the world. And he wasn't nothing. She listened to this nigga. And put people and put this nigga in front of her family and friends. I seen her do it. And you know what that nigga do? He shoot up heroin. That's what them needles was. You a heroin addict. And you got her twisted. She don't even drink, like do drugs, none of that. She got a good job, Department of Social Service. She bringing in the paper. Nigga, we used to be counting food stamps in our living room on the floor, getting them ready to be passed out to your ass because she had to bring them to work. And when you call, I didn't get my food stamps, she got them. Or if you get your food stamps on the such and such, she got them. She was dumb to this motherfucker. Like right now, I would smack her and wake her up and say, you was dumb to that nigga. You let that nigga want your daughter. I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't never know if he touched my sister or not. And I never even really asked my sister, you know, did he touch her or anything like that. But I never even know if he touched my sister. But a couple times I had cried. I was crying and he was like, "What'd you crying for?" Well, he'll tell me, if you keep crying, I'm gonna go get your sister. And then I stop crying so he won't bother my little sister, you know? So I went through that like 100 times. When I would be crying, he'd say, "Okay, I'm gonna go get your little sister," and I'll stop crying. You know, or I wouldn't tell nobody. He'll tell me, if you do this and you go to school and be bad today, you say something to anybody today, I'm gonna hire your little sister. You know, so I wouldn't be bad, so he wouldn't touch my sister or my brother or my mother. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be bad at all. You know, it varies, you know, when I would go to school and act out, but basically, really, I was just trying to tell somebody about his ass. We ain't done yet. Trust me, we ain't halfway done. Remember I told you he shoot up, I catch him sleep with the needle hanging out his arm. That ain't half of the story yet. This man, like, was coming to get me in the morning and at night. Even just to sit there, some nights I had to sit there and just watch him jack off. Watch him jack off. That's it. I had to sit there naked and watch him jack off. Then one day my mom had left. And she left me there. Wasn't nobody else home. She left me there. And he took me upstairs. And he did what he did to me. But this time, he got on top of me. And when he got on top of me, I started praying. I started remembering God. And I was, you know, tears was rolling out the back of my eyes. And I was crying. And I was remembering God. And I was praying to God. And I was like, God, come and get him. Lord, come and get him. Get him off me, Lord. Get him off me. And that motherfucker had a heart attack. Right on top of me. And died. dick hard and everything. The ambulance police came, his dick was still hard. So I'm gonna tell y'all what my mama did after that. So when as that motherfucker died, like when he died on top of me, everything got quiet. Everything got real quiet. And I heard somebody say, Yvette, where you at? And I didn't say nothing. I was like, oh, this is my mama. And it got closer, 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 closer. And then that's when she was getting closer, I said, I'm right here, mama, help. And then she opened the room door and saw him laying on top of me. I was too small of a girl to push him off me because he was extremely heavy. And when he died, it's like a brick just laid on me. It's like, I was like, oh, he died on me like he was heavy. And when she opened that door and saw me, she pushed him off of me. She pushed him off of me and looked at me and said, what did you do to him?